It was right before my 18th birthday because I remember I kept telling my grandmother, I ain't gonna make it to 18, I ain't gonna make it to 18. And like literally the week before my 18th birthday, I have this huge shootout and fucking survived. And my grandma was like, I told you to stop prophesizing that over your life. Look at the Lord listening. So yeah, ooh, that shit was scary as fuck. That record is about the transition of like my whole life. Like when I stopped being such a little asshole and doing like the violent things that I was doing, my life is like a movie. Like every time I tell people about my life, they're just like, what, that happened to you? That happened to you? And I'm like, bitch, I swear to God, like this shit happened. Like I was so reckless and I've experienced so much, so. Let's call it Mad World, makes sense. Everything is getting trippy, might have done too much. I used to sell ecstasy and like mollies to like raves and shit, and so it was the last rave that I ever been to. We were at the rave and I remember everything was just super drippy. I had just picked up like hella like molly and shit and was selling it or whatever. And I just remember everything just like looking real crazy because it was just like a lot of like shit in my system. And that night was so crazy for me because it literally changed my life. And so that was like the last time I did any molly, ecstasy like that. That was the last time I sold anything. And I remember leaving the rave and just a weird turn of events happened. I remember everyone had deja vu. Everyone was just like feeling awkward about the night. And that night we got shot at and like everybody in my car got shot at. And it was the scariest shit ever. And that's when I was just like, I had to really change like my whole situation because it was like leading down a really dark path. So that's my rad world. If you really listen to the lyrics, you'll hear what I'm talking about. I was literally talking to my friend about that today. I was like, yo, that shit happened for a reason. Like it just changed everything. Like I wasn't even focused on my music like that. And then after that, I just focused on my music. You couldn't trust bitches. You couldn't trust nobody. Like I remember that night I had like $3,000 worth of like fucking drugs on me. Like, and I just needed to hide my chain that night. Like I needed to hide everything on me because at the end of the day, I couldn't trust anybody. In my mad world, you'll find people that seem so sweet and so cool, but they sketchy as hell. The occasional drug or two. And a lot of weird innocence being mistranslated, if that makes sense.